Welcome to Mo's Market Pulse. I'm your host, Sarah Mokram, founder of Mo Digital Solutions, where we help businesses scale and thrive. This is the podcast where we sit down with industry leaders to dive into their businesses, uncover market insights, explore growth strategies, and discuss the challenges they face, plus where they see 2025 heading. I'm thrilled to have Maor Cohen, founder and CEO of Pickspace, join us today. Pickspace is a property management software solution that streamlines operations under a single platform. Before we get into the details of Pickspace, I'd love to hear about your journey. Can you take us back to the beginning? What led you to start Pickspace and what problems you were trying to solve?
Hey, nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Maor, as Sarah mentioned. Yeah, for sure. So, a few things. What led me to start? Originally, a lawyer, would you believe? Yes, a big and long journey. Finished my study, was very involved in a lot of entrepreneurial activities in college and university. So, was definitely encouraged to do more in that aspect. And then being inside a law firm showed me that probably I want to do something else, more active, more being with people. I was already in the tech world building website. Back then it was to be techy to build a website. I'm not so old, but it was like around 2015 when I started. And then I decided, okay, I want to do something else. I want to build a solution to a problem that I want to solve. And I was like sitting in my room thinking, what are the things? Because everyone said, do what you love, do what you love. You have to find something you're very passionate about. So I sat and I remember I wrote on a piece of paper like all the things that I love to do, all the things that interesting me, business wise and family wise, everything. And I came up with like three main things. One is people, just to be connected, just to build communities, be around people. And then another one is tech. And the third one was real estate. So for me, it was pretty obvious that I need to kind of structure the triangles and make sure like I'm doing something that has all three components to it. And then I started to research like the Proptech world, what's out there, what's in there, what problems are, in the right now world there and I can potentially solve. And back then, the co-working was booming. So I looked at the co-working and so in co-working, there are a lot of people, real estate, and maybe some tech that could solve a lot of problems. So that's how I started. I basically, with a piece of paper and writing down things that I love to do, and then drill down to an industry that could be, improved by technology. So that's how I started.
Great. So you've been in the industry for quite a while now. How has your role as a leader evolved as the company has grown?
So actually, it's interesting. I remember in the beginning, I really hated like go to speak in places and, not a stage fear, fear, but I was like, should I go? Should I not? And as you grow your company and being a little bit more helpful to many different other businesses, people want to hear what you have to say. So they invite you to different conferences, to different lectures, and you start to share your opinion or what you think could be improved in what area, and then you understand that your perspective has an opinion, has a meaning to a lot of people, and then you start to like it even more. People give you good feedback, and then I think that's something I didn't think I would like. Now I'm actually having fun doing because I know it helps other people. But basically, maybe in the beginning, as you start, your opinion is not so important. But as you get more traction, I think your opinion is a little bit more important to the industry, to the world, to other people that wants to start, and then you get to help more people. So I think that's what changes the most.
Okay. And then for those who might not be as familiar, can you give us a quick rundown of what Pickspace does and who you serve?
Yeah, for sure. So Pickspace is a property management software that came after so many different property management software was or were created, and we were like, okay, that was done but not correctly, and it's not intuitive, not automated, not easy to use, and it doesn't look good. Like there are so many things that we could do much better for tenants, for communities, for people. So they get what they should get, a better product, a better service, a better technology to handle property management aspects. So I think we started from the co-working industry, where back then there were no solutions to manage a co-working space and to build communities within co-working spaces. And then we moved a little bit more to the commercial real estate, property management for malls, property management for shopping centers, and then property management also for office buildings. And from there, we actually moved into another vertical, which is residential, in multifamily buildings, high rise, but also single family homes. So our product is for property management companies that managing either one of the real estate types or all of them, because they can manage on our platform all different type of real estate with different terminology for each one and different aspects for each one, but all on the same platform. Everything from A to Z, everything from listing to the contract, uh, and management, and then the day-to-day maintenance requests, collecting rent, generating reports and accounting, invoices, income, expense, all the P&Ls. Everything is inside the system to help manage and automate property management.
So it's an all-in-one inclusive solution, a one-stop shop, really.
Exactly, including of available rental that you want to, promote and have people to come and apply for them, all the way to the move out part.
So does the platform also have a payments system integrated within it as well to set up all those invoices and monthly rent for vendors or for tenants within the system?
Exactly. Not only that we have the payments, we also we're the only property management company that actually allow companies and our clients to start making money from payments. We have Pay.Pickspace, and since we integrated to the biggest one in the world, we signed a great deal with them. So property management companies can start making money from using our system. So while other property management system costing money, actually making money for them.
So it's always fascinating to hear about how businesses evolve to meet new challenges. And speaking of that, with property management space, it has seen a lot of changes from just technology driven automation to shifts in real estate trends. So, what are some of the biggest shifts that you've seen in the property management and prop tech space over the last few years?
Yeah. So I think over the last few years, you see changes that comes from actually AI, but that's the last year. But before that, we saw a lot of different small companies that started with solving one of the aspects, because property management is huge. But take, for example, maintenance requests. It's only one piece, right? But then small companies or startup companies comes in and they solve that problem, but they solve it so good that the big PMS in the market would use them in order to serve their clients. So I saw a lot of different small companies that go really deep on solving one part of the journey, one chain, and then they integrate their solution to the big PMSs. In that way, the PMS don't need to solve that problem anymore or don't need to continue developing something, because for them it's a very wide problem to solve. Property management company, software company. So to solve each one to the depth that a full company can do, it's very hard. So a lot of small companies or startups starting to come up, solving the contract, solving the AI documentations, solving the maintenance requests, solving the move in, move out, solving the MLS, like virtual brokers. So a lot of different pieces to solve the big problem. And then the software, the property management software, will take different solutions and combine them together to be one.
I see.
And that's what I see. But that's also why I thought there is a huge opportunity here to build one system that does everything but very good.
Hmm.
And so that's what we do. We are not patching it with different solutions of different companies. We actually building it really good from the first time and in each section to the depth that the industry needs.
So for those the smaller companies that are really specializing, for those property management, clients, were they having to still contract with each of those vendors, or were you seeing that the larger vendor was integrating them into their software
Exactly.
themselves?
So in the beginning, they needed to showcase their solution, right? Not the first day in the block they can integrate with the biggest. So they needed in the beginning to show their solution and start to gain companies and clients. So they started, and a lot of companies would use them, but also the big property management software. And then slowly, the property management software understood that they're losing by not integrating that solution. So that's how they got in. They first needed to bootstrap or to run by themselves, and then they integrate. But now they have a full line of clients that coming from the integration itself.
That makes sense. How would you say advancements in AI and automation have changed the way managers or, different companies operate?
It's going to change by a lot. If you know property management, of course, we have all the legal part of it. No one loves it, but it's there. And in order to rent or buy, but mainly rent, when we talk about property management, you need to go through some legal stuff, right? And then in the legal, there is a lot of text, but also a lot of important things for the business. For example, you have the price for the apartment, but then you have also the late payment fee, and you have the renewals that usually comes every year. So you have different options: year one, year two, year three. The last new technology that came in legal and property management was DocuSign. So people don't need to come and sign. So today we're very back on technology and property management. So AI can come to all that legacy systems and take the agreements and understand when the lease ends and when the next renewal, and add all that to the system so it will happen automatically. Right now you need someone to come, read each one of the contracts, understand from the text, and extract the next renewal, the next option, the next rate increase, all that, and do it himself. So a lot of typos, a lot of manual work, a lot of waste, and a lot of mistakes. And sometimes when no one does it, there is just a lot of money on the floor. That AI will definitely will take care of that. We actually build it automatically to our system. So every contract is being created on our system. So we build internal DocuSign, so no data can go to waste or to lost, because you basically build a contract on the system. So
Mhm.
you have the unit name, you have the tenant name, you have the price, you have the increase, you have the late payment fee, you have different services that he pays for, and everything is on the contract when they sign. So basically, all the information is there. And now, once it's signed and approved, all the information, all the data is distributed into the system. And then you don't really need to touch that tenant for the next 5 years, because you already have all the data and it's already distributed in a way that everything happens automatically. That's
Mhm.
the nice thing about it. And whoever is not using this or doesn't have a solution like this, he will need to use AI to make sure he's not losing on not implementing the contracts accordingly. That's what I did when working in the law firm. I did it myself. I did it manually. I
Mhm.
used to the contract, look for the small
Yeah.
detailed things, and implement it into the accounting system.
So with your system and with AI in the future, it'll all be in there and it'll automatically be able to point out when a renewal comes up and those sort of details so they aren't missed.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. So now that we've talked a little bit about the market landscape, I'd like to shift gears a bit and talk about how Pickspace is scaling and growing in this space. So, what has been the most effective growth strategy for Pickspace so far, such as inbound marketing, partnerships, outbound sales? What's been working the best for you?
That's a good question. I think partnerships, and also thanks to the fact we are a white label solution, a full white label, so called a company now in a market that we were not in. right? Let's say let's pick a different country. Let's pick like Germany or Switzerland or in Brazil. So our product is translate to all the different languages, right? And we can customize and localize to every market. And we already have like 90% of it. So now the other 10% is just to resell it inside the different markets, because we have the development capabilities to do the localizations. So a lot of partners see that opportunity and they white label our solution to become their solution that they offer in that country. And then they resell it and they sell it also as a white label. So it's their solution, their website in Germany or Brazil or any other country. And then they sell it as a white label. So basically, it's always their name on the front, but it's our machine in the back. So I think for us, since we built it day one, like bottom up as a white label solution, I think for us, the white label is a really, the distribution is a really strong growth engine. And other than that, a lot of SEO, a lot of inbound. When someone comes to you, he's more cooked, he's more willing, he already learned about you, he wants to see it. When you call other people, and we did it a lot and we still do, it's good, but I think it's not the same effect as when they come to you. So we promote text, we go and write a lot, and we publish researches, and we publish how to manage this, how to manage that, and what to do in these cases. So I think educating the market on our conclusions will bring a lot of people to be interested in what we do. And when they come to us, they want us more, and of course it's easier to sell and better opportunity to grow.
And so building a brand in this space isn't always easy, although it sounds like you guys have done a great job with that, especially with the white label strategy there. But how have you approached just branding and getting Pickspace in front of those right customers other than the blogs or SEO? How are you, in these different countries that you're offering the solution in, how are you making those connections?
Yes, so it's a lot of brand recognition, and also a lot of partnership. I think a lot of it came from people I know or people that heard about us and they want to know more. So I think once we decided that our growth strategy will be through partners, then we were more ready to hear about it. Maybe before that, we also would, different people reached out, but we never took it seriously. But once we built the structure of how a reseller or how to franchise it, then it became also feasible. Because in the beginning, okay, someone, I want to sell you in Australia. Okay, go sell us in Australia. But it's not going to hold because we didn't build the infrastructure for it. But once we took the decision to build the infrastructure for a company in a different country to come in and to localize it, because there is some things to localize, the billing side of it, the tax side of it, the accounting integration side of it. So there are things to integrate. It's not like one, two, three. You have to make sure you have the infrastructure in order to even find the local part. Now we have local partners in India, we have local partners in Mexico, we have local partners in the UAE and in Israel and in other places. So I think it makes, when you build the infrastructure and the localization for it, then it makes sense to start looking for that distributor. And you can have more than one distributor in a country. You don't have to have only one.
So, looking ahead, are there any new strategies that you're excited to explore for driving growth?
And I think also PR did a lot of good work for us, and I think it will continue to do, because there is one thing to come and explain about your solution, and there is another aspect or perspective when someone reads about it or see it or watch it in TV or something. A conference, it's good, but I think PR gives another layer to it, like other stamp. And not necessarily justify it, right? But once people see it on the news, for them it's legit. So I think PR, it's a better way to recognize, and also it stays there. You went to a conference, you met a few people, usually it's gone. You
Right.
go to you put a PR article in Yahoo or in other places, it stays. And you can use it later, before, after. It's good.
So, of course, with growth comes challenges, and every business leader faces some roadblocks along the way. So, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face while growing Pickspace?
Definitely choosing the right people. I think that's a good one. You want to grow, you want to grow quick, you need to find right people. You need to find right people. You need a good HR company to either help you to find them or to screen them or to vet them. Or either you take people from competitors. But when you start, it's hard to take people from competitors because competitors offer more. So when you start, you just need to find the right people. But before that, you have to make sure you understood how to do it yourself. So
Hmm.
before you start teaching other people, you need to have some kind of machine that already working, and
Hmm.
then when you bring the new people, you want them to do the same, and to have them to find the people that have the passion. Because in the beginning, it's really hard to start and to really hard to sell, and sometimes and there are bigger companies out there that we all fight on the same client.
Hmm.
Our startup company will take a client from a public company with 3,000 employees and 8,000 $8 billion worth, and you as a startup need to come and beat them. Yes, you have a better product. Yes, you have a better technology. Yes, you have the better UX UI. You have the white label. You have the rev share on payments. But you have to make sure you also know their weaknesses and also to have the best people that will present the product. I think choosing the right people, SDR, account executive, is a key. Thankfully, we had a HR company that helped us and find the right people.
So, if you could have a magic wand or snap your finger and instantly solve one major frustration in your industry or business, what would that be?
That's a good one. I think I would definitely be for in the industry or in our growth.
Either one.
Yeah. So in the industry, I would like if I could just enlighten people, just like, a lot of people, they just use what they use for the last 20 years. And they
Hmm.
don't even know that there are so many better opportunities, right? We're out there trying to shout out our businesses and our solutions, and people just, they're stuck with what they have
Hmm.
and they're afraid to change. If I can just like nudge everyone, every property manager right now and tell them, just wake them up, show them, hey, there are much better solutions to do exactly what you're trying to do right now and maybe suffering. Open your eyes, look
Hmm.
around. It doesn't have to be us, but
Yeah.
improve the way you manage your properties. Everyone, your tenants will be happier, your bank account will be happier. Everyone will be happier if you just like look around. The solution that you use for the last 20 years or the Excel sheets that you use, probably not the best solution out there. Look around. You don't have to do the change right now. Look around and just explore.
Yeah. That makes sense. What's been the hardest lesson that you've learned as a founder?
The 100 first client, you have to sell yourself.
Hmm.
So I know it sounds maybe a lot, maybe not a lot, but I just learned that if you want to grow and if you want to be in a stable position, you have to do it yourself. One, because you're the one that know the business in and out and the product in and out. Second, if you send it to other people, you waste money that you don't have to waste. Wait, improve the product, sell yourself, and third, it will bring the people when everything is much more cooked and ready to scale. And when you have that base of 100 clients, so then you can grow faster from there and add the salespeople and show the numbers. You have as a founder, as a CEO, you have the most incentive to make it work.
Hmm.
You the hardest person in the room, almost in any room. And I think once you get to 100 clients, you understand all different aspects. You try to sell to enough people to understand the pain, to understand the language, to understand the terminology, to understand what sells, what not, and then to focus the pitch, focus the process, and then to bring the right people.
So let's shift and talk about the future and where you see the company heading in the next year. What are your biggest goals for Pickspace over the next 12 months?
I want to be operating in 20 different countries. I think the approach of going wide is very interesting. A lot of these markets are untouched and undeveloped. A lot of the big solutions, either they don't have the time, the money, will to even go there. For us, there is a unique opportunity when we can start there when there is no one there. So less competition, less dollars on penetrate the market and less dollar on marketing, or same dollar can buy more eyes looking at you and exploring you. And then also I think doing it widely, I think it will allow us to also grow internally inside the US. So I think that approach will gain from both sides, brand wise and sales wise.
And are there any key metrics or milestones that you're focusing on to measure success outside of the locations that you're in?
Yeah, of course. So there are the ARR, of course, and how much money we make as a company and how much we want to grow. But for me, it's also about engagement to make sure people actually using what we have, and we have success managers with each client, and we want to hear from our client. We want to see if they're using the system, because a lot of tech companies and a lot of software, they build huge system, but people use only 5% of it. So why build the other 90? So for me, the engagement is important for two reasons. One, because I want them to use what we built. So sometimes it's just opening their eyes and then they use it. Sometimes I understand going forward, don't build it. If they don't need it, don't build it. So for me, it's important. The engagement is really important. It's looking backwards and going forward. So engagement, ARR, and external growth, global growth. Move more people to pay online. I think one, it's another revenue stream that we can share with our clients, and they can make more money if they process online. Second, they get the rent before the month start, and they don't need to run after people to collect the rent. And third, it's automate the whole process. So if everything is collected online, they can manage more and more and more. They don't have to run after the current cash flow.
Okay, great. Well, just one last question that I like to ask at the end of these podcasts is what's one piece of advice that you'd give to other business leaders navigating growth in today's market?
Understand very well the problems that you're solving. Try to make sure you're much better than competitors and you have the right way to express it that people understand your unique value proposition. And first of all, before people, that you understand your unique value proposition and you make sure people are willing to pay for that unique value proposition or to move from what they use today. So to understand the problem, have a unique value proposition, and make sure people are willing to pay for that unique value proposition before you go big or before you spend a lot of time and money on it.
That makes sense. Well, for those who want to learn more about Pickspace or connect with you, where's the best place to find you?
So of course you have it on our website, and you have on our website in our about us, you have a lead to my LinkedIn. So you can either reach out to me on LinkedIn, just add me as a contact or follow, and then reach out. Usually I'm making myself available for new people, and of course book a demo or try Pickspace, and then we'll be able to serve you.
Perfect. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a comment, and join us again to hear more insights from leaders.